All right, hi, it's day 37 and it is early evening. I am in Wrightwood, California, and yeah, I had to make a decision this morning leaving Cajon Pass. The last few days has just been a mental struggle for me. I think just being physically exhausted and kind of mentally exhausted is kind of caught up with me. And so as I was at the Best Western in Cajon, I was debating on my next steps and what I wanted to do because I had to make a decision on whether I was going to hike up towards Wrightwood, and it's like 20. I think it was like 28 miles, a little bit less if you're going to take the Acorn Trail into Wrightwood, but still it's a significant climb uphill with no water for at least 20 miles. And being exhausted and just kind of struggling with hiking alone, I just wasn't feeling it. I was having a lot of anxiety about it, and I didn't even want to get out of bed, so kind of had to reevaluate, where I'm at, and didn't want to go home, but I just felt like I needed a break and to regroup, and so I chose to take an Uber to Wrightwood because I didn't feel like I could get here by trail in time to get to the post office to get my microspikes and my ice axe, and so that's what I did, and I got here this morning at like 9:30. I just took my time getting ready, and then called for a car, and I figured I could just kind of figure out what I wanted to do once I got here. If I needed to go back and hike that over this weekend, I can. And so I've been kind of hanging out here today. Got a hotel room for a couple days. Nice place. Yeah, this is my room. I'm at the Pine Lodge, or I'm sorry, Cedar Lodge, I believe is what it's called. Sorry, I'm not very good at this. Yeah, Cedar Lodge Motel, but it's a nice room. Super friendly staff, and yeah, I'm just kind of, I got my boxes today, and I had way too much stuff, too much food, too much weight in my pack. So as soon as I could get checked into my room, which wasn't until 3 o'clock, I went through and took out everything that I thought I could live without, and sent some stuff back home. So I probably got, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 pounds at least that I sent back. Yeah, it's just too much, which would make the hike even more difficult. So I got rid of some of the food because I tend to pack too much food with me, and some clothing, some electronics, some extra snow gear that I didn't need. And yeah, so I got everything that I am going to take laid out on the table. So other than that, that's all I plan on doing. I realize that in the zeros I have taken, in other towns, I really haven't had a chance to relax. Like the 0 days I've had, I've been busy the whole time, walking around town, doing laundry, resupplying, going and eating, and everything I need to do. So my goal is just to chill, lay on my bed, watch TV, and just rest. I'm gonna rest all day tomorrow, and then figure out what the plan is for Babe and Pals. It's one of those things. When your body's telling you it's time to rest, it's time to rest. So yeah. So anyway, meeting with the crew I'm going to be hiking with tomorrow morning. I feel like it's gonna significantly improve my experience and my motivation to keep going on if I'm hiking with other people. And so to me it was worth it to skip those miles and And so I have a trail family to hike with, and yeah, so that's where I'm at, and I don't know how to explain, without. I had to turn the heat off. I've had the chills too, so um, I feel like I just run down and yeah, so I turn the heat on in my room, but um, it's hard to understand what you go through physically and mentally unless you've actually been on a through hike, and you're pushing your body to the limit every day, and I'm not young. That's a challenge for me, and I love that part of it. I love challenges. I love to set goals for myself. I like that I'm getting in shape and losing weight, and that my body is able to do these things that I didn't think it was capable of doing, But every day you push yourself to the limit. As you start being able to hike more miles, you push the miles, and I've been really lucky to not haven't had any injuries. I feel like I'm approaching this the right way so I don't get injured, and that I don't do things that are out of my capabilities. And I want to keep doing that. I want to be smart about this, so I can complete this. And I feel like I made the right decision. And I feel like if I'm not hiking with a bunch of people, it's not going to be very long before I'm thinking I'm done and want to go home, and I don't want that to happen. The last couple of days, I've just been feeling kind of depressed and lonely, and so then I'm not enjoying myself like I want to, and so I think this is gonna remedy this, because I enjoy the views. I enjoy the hiking. I love being outdoors. I like the challenge. I like the lifestyle of this, and I, you know, it's just the social part of it. I tend to be pretty independent, and like 90% of the time, I don't mind hiking alone, but that other 10% is getting to me, and especially as I'm approaching, these sections like hiking Baden Powell. If I was alone, I definitely wouldn't even attempt it. So having the encouragement and the kindness of the people around me, um, that I trust and that I want to hike with, I think will make all the difference in the world. So yeah, I've been watching some other people that have dropped out and gone home for various reasons, and I see some of these things, this disillusion about what the trail they thought was going to be like, and it's way more challenging, I think, than you see in other people's videos, because the hard parts of it usually don't get videotaped. It's really hard to sit there and pull your camera out when you're trying to climb a rocky hill or doing really difficult sections. You need to focus on your hiking. So, and it's no different than when I'm filming. When I feel like filming is when I have the energy and when I'm going downhill, or there's something really, beautiful that I want to show everybody. But you don't see all the hard stuff and all those difficult hours, when you're struggling, or it's, just strenuous. And so I think sometimes people get the wrong idea of what this is like. And some days I'm grateful every day to be out here and have this opportunity to do this, and I want that to continue. Um, Somebody made a comment the other day about one of my videos about, I think, because I had said something about this is like a job, and some days it is. That is the reality. I know why I'm out here. I know what I want out of it. Doesn't mean it's not all butterflies and flowers. It's just, it's difficult, and there's times when it's very challenging, physically and mentally, and some days it does feel like a chore. It doesn't feel like a vacation, I'll tell you that much. It feels like a journey of good and bad, beautiful and sometimes scary, and then there's the pressure. There's the pressure of your peers, of doing every mile, of having the courage to push yourself beyond your comfort zone, to get as many miles a day and to have a good attitude about it. And, it's no different than everyday life. You go through the same things. It's different out here, but there's the same kind of pressures from your peers, and the expectations of the people watching your videos and your family and friends. And yeah. So anyway, I'm trying to keep it real. Uh, so if you're planning a through hike, you know, not everybody wants to hear what I have to say. They don't want to hear the reality of it. They don't, because you get this idea in your head of what it's going to be like. And it's that, but it's so much more. And I don't think I was disillusioned about the trail at all, because I listened to lots of different points of view, and like looking at different sections. I looked at people that made it look real difficult and people that made it look really easy, so you get a good view of the whole, because not everybody's experience is the same, and not everybody records the truth of what the trail is like. So, and my truth may not be somebody else's truth, but this is my journey and my hike, and I want to keep an accurate record of what this is like, because I'm going to remember the good times and I'm going to remember the difficult times, and there's memories of things that have happened that I'll always remember. But it's real easy after an experience to just forget all that and just remember all the big events, and not, the daily grind of this. And so anyway, this is what I'm going to do. I thought about going up the Acorn Trail tomorrow and hiking back to Cajon Pass and making up those miles, which would probably take me a day and a half. But then I realized that I'm not resting again. Again, it's that pressure of, oh my God, I can't skip a mile. I need to go back and, do everything, the way I think it's supposed to be done. And I think really what I need to do right now is rest, so that's what I'm going to do. To me, it's more important that I have a group of people around me to hike with than to make up those 20 miles right now. So that's where I'm at least for today. And I'm looking forward to this day off tomorrow, and just meeting with, my hiker family here, and having some breakfast and coffee with them, and meeting a new hiker, that I haven't met yet, who hopefully, we can do some miles together, and that works out well, that, I've got somebody else, another female that, to add to my tramily. And yep, so that's it. I will probably get some pictures tomorrow of Wrightwood. There's not a whole lot here. It's a cute little town, very high. There's a hardware store, a post office, grocery store, a lot of restaurants, and a few hotels, and houses, and it's just a little mountain community. I'm sure there's probably seasonal tourism here, and so there's not going to be a lot to go do tomorrow. I've got my chores done. There's just a couple food items I need to get, but other than that, I'm going to rest my legs and my body and my mind, and carry on to the next adventure. So, have a good evening, and I will talk to you tomorrow.
Go ahead. How did you get your name?
Well, because I'm hiking for charity.
Usually I'm wearing a purple shirt that says the Alpha One Foundation, which is the charity that I hike for. And the disease is Alpha 1 deficiency, which is a genetic disorder that causes lung and liver disease. And my grandmother had it and passed away from it in 2006 after living on oxygen the last 25 years of her life. And my father and I have it as well. So my name's Moneymaker because on the AT I raised $56,000. Last year I hiked from Campo to 813.2 miles in, and I raised $81,000. And already this year I'm over $3,000. So
Awesome.
Isn't that a cool story?
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Is it passed down from the male side of the family?
Both. You need a Z from each parent. So my mom is a carrier, so she got a Z from my grandma because she had it. She was a ZZ, and since my grandfather on her side was an MM and didn't have the disease, she got an M from her dad and a Z from her mom. So she was a carrier, or MZ. And me, after my grandmother died, my mom wanted me and my brother to get tested. And she knew that I was probably a carrier because my mom was a MZ, so I could have gotten a Z from her. But when she found out that I was a Z and a ZZ, she knew that my dad had to at least be a carrier because you need a Z from each parent.
Oh, yeah.
Deficiency, they're like, what? Who?
Yeah.
Huh?
What's that?
Right.
Even the doctors don't know as much as the patients.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Moneymaker, how do people donate to your foundation?
You can either go onto www.alpha1.org/maidment to donate straight there, or you can go to my Facebook page and there will be a link that will lead you to the donation page. And my Facebook page is www.facebook.com/hiking for a cure.
Okay, thank you. And I will put a link down at the bottom of this video. So please help support his foundation. Thanks, Moneymaker.
And there's no cure for the disease. That's why it's hiking for a cure.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. This morning, interviewed Moneymaker. We've been wanting to do this. I'm really proud of him and what he's doing for his charity that he is hiking for. And so if you are interested in learning more about it and or like to donate to his charity to find a cure for the Alpha 1 deficiency, I'm putting a link in the bottom of this video so you can go to his Facebook page. And I think it's a worthwhile cause. And yeah, I'm just really proud of him for, being a young man and taking the time and energy to do what he can to help find a cure for this disorder and just bring awareness to it so more people know about it and know what it is. The more people and exposure it gets, the more likely there's going to be more research done to help find a cure for it. So, yeah, good people I'm hiking with. All right, it's Saturday, taking a zero here in Wrightwood. And this is a little town here. There's a bakery right here, a sandwich shop where I ate lunch yesterday and I had coffee and hung out with a bunch of hikers. This is kind of the main street through town. And this is the Mountain Hardware store. And the post office right next door. This hardware store is awesome. They like have a registry in there. They take hiker boxes. They got a good assortment of hiking, backpacking equipment along with other stuff. And I just got some new tips for my trekking poles because I noticed they were down to nubs. They were nice enough to let me use their tools and advice and help me switch them out, which was great. So now I'm just heading down to the grocery store here. And they have this little hiker haven back here where you can hang out and picnic tables. They also have a charging station out front here, which is awesome. And then I'm staying up the road here at the Cedar Lodge. And there's there it is actually. You can see it. We've made a plan. We're all taking a 0 today, and our plan is to leave tomorrow afternoon and hike up to probably Vincent Gap or somewhere around that area. There's a spring not too far from there with some campsites so we can get closer to Baden-Powell. And so we'll just do, I don't know, 6 or 7 miles probably tomorrow, camp, and that way we can leave early in the morning and summit Baden-Powell is the plan right now. We're kind of watching the weather, and we can make that decision at that time when we get up there. And we've decided if we're not comfortable, you know, at least 2 of us will go around if we're not feeling it or the weather takes a turn. There is some chance of some rain coming in, which up at that level will be snow sometime Monday evening, but it looks like the day is going to be okay. So as long as we can get up and over it, if we start early, I think it's going to be okay. So that's our plan, and for us just to hike together as a group. We're kind of all on the same page, and you know, it was good to kind of have a meeting and talk about what we want to do and what our expectations are, and yeah, I'm excited about having a group of people to hike with. So again, I'm just trying to take it easy today, other than, you know, breakfast at, you know, and coffee at the coffee shop. I just went down to the hardware store and replaced the tips on my trekking poles, and they're awesome there. They're super helpful. You know, I was going to buy some pliers and come back to my room and try to do it myself, but you know, they told me I could use their tools in the back and their vise and everything, and one of the workers came back and gave me a hand, and so I got my tips replaced and got a few things at the store that I needed. And so I'm just back at my room, and I think we're probably all going to meet for dinner tonight, but I'm just going to rest, try to take a nap, you know, pack up my stuff for tomorrow, and just, yep, take it easy and keep my feet up as much as possible. I still have a lack of energy today. I'm really glad I took a 0, and hopefully I'll feel rejuvenated by tomorrow after resting, you know, for another 24 hours and be ready to go. Baden-Powell is going to be a lot of work. From what I'm hearing, most people are leaving 5, 6 in the morning, and it's taking them till 5 o'clock in the evening to get over to summit Baden-Powell and get over the other side, just because there's so much snow and you have to go slow, you know, with microspikes and, you know, kick in all your steps, and it's going to be a really long day. And it's going to be exhausting, so I want to make sure that my energy level is where it needs to be. And if I get up there and feel like I can't do it, then I'll take the Manzanita Trail, or I think you could take Highway 2 around it too. So I'll make that decision tomorrow. No pressure. I do want to challenge myself, though, and try to do this if I can. I feel like I'm with a safe group of people that I know are also going to take it slow and that are cautious and that I trust. So best possible scenario, really. for me at this time, and then we'll start heading towards there's another road walk, I think the following day around there's a endangered frog species where some of the trail is closed, and that you gotta walk around, and then on to KOA and Aqua Dulce, I think it's called. So yep. So anyway, that's pretty much it. No miles today, no miles yesterday, so basically I'm taking a 00. And I will get back to you again tomorrow.